The Independent report. Turnbull hangs on to the keys of the lodge, but only just. As the IA winds down for the year, Doc Martin abandons his pursuit of the media and casts a judge's eye over the featured achievements of 2016. This week, a shock horror movie aired on television, and it was a great metaphor to Malcolm Turnbull, classic Independent. Like, they make great news articles, but they also make satire pieces. And I guess this is satire, but that's what our politics are. According to this, the three-headed shark attack is terrible. It is a poor production value but a high body count, which is a de-rigueur for a B-grade horror movie. Turnbull 2016 also resembles a B-grade horror movie. The script is boring and repetitive. It's Labour's fault, jobs in growth, debt and deficit disaster, and it doesn't make sense to the audience. The three-headed shark of the movie is a mutant that grew in the Pacific garbage patch. Another perhaps unwitting metaphor to the diabolical swamp drained the swamp Donald Trump. That is the Australian Parliament under the thumb of the coalition. For Malcolm Turnbull, the mutant shark symbolizes his nemesis, Tony Abbott, like the single word triceps in the movie. Wait, I can't pronounce it. Oh well. Abbott refuses to die, even though his battered nose was symbolically removed when he was rolled from the PM's chair. So Turnbull has not succeeded in cementing his party room victory of 2015 despite winning the 2016 election in its own right. Turnbull remains captive to the three-headed shark, which is Tony Abbott's policies despite the best efforts to kill it. So the reason why this is happening is that the list of achievements that Turnbull has committed to is quite small. He's barely gone through with the basic functions of government and policies set in stone. The backpack attacks that is talked about in this article is what is considered the best policy he's actually committed to, which actually says a lot. Consider this, the omnibus bill that the coalition passed with Labour's help was a terrible policy, and everybody knows it, so they're not going to brag about it. But the policies what policies has Turnbull passed that is reasonably popular with Australia or with the Australian public? None. Even their own website has a small minor list of policies, and if you list them all, they're just status quo stuff. Like an innovation and science agenda to help create the jobs of the future, cutting science and deploying anything action. Take action to address domestic violence through the $100 million women's safety package after the $300 million that Abbott cut. Oversee I will quote the list continuing on, overseeing the release of all children from onshore immigration detention, which means that they're making offshore detention centers. That's why you have all these softer boats. Legislating to implement the China-Australia Free Trade Agreement. Nobody likes free trade. Well, nobody in the first world likes free trade. And here is a point. Number 15. The abolition of Bill Shorten's truck tribunal, which was putting owner-operated truck drivers out of business. What the? How is that a policy? Oh my god. Even the personal tax cut, which is delivering to the 500,000 Australian, that's a tax cut. That doesn't help people. And when you consider middle class Australian, you're considering the top 60th percentile to 80th percentile of Australians. Because nobody else is middle class. Everybody below the 60th percentile is lower class. And anybody who does not make the minimum wage is in the bottom quarter. So we could just say how bad it is. I mean, think of the Independent even lists something. The $1 billion loan to Adana to build a coal mine that nobody, perhaps even Adana wants. Barnabas called for George Christian to elevate to the cabinet. And, submitted that making George Brandis the most obviously corrupt person on the cabinet as the Attorney General, which again is terrible. So, what does this mean? We live in this world where even the most corrupt politician can get away with anything they want. Does anyone remember the policies of Bob Hawke, Malcolm Fraser, Gulf Whitlam? They're radical compared to this. Paul Keating, the recession we must have because we have to get through this. We have to stop it. The reason why this has happened is because John Howard. John Howard purged the moderate fraction of the coalition party through his 9 years his 11 years as Prime Minister of Australia. And the Australian people just let him do it. We have to stop this. Okay, yes, we have